Hello. Excuse me, one moment, please. Yes. Breaking news. You all are watching the Stafford Boxing Report live. I am Sheila Stafford.
And I'm Stafford. Put that on. Put that on. Put that Stafford Boxing.
The
The making
making
of
of champions.
champions. Uh, uh.
Hey. Hello and welcome, everybody. We're glad that you're here. And for those that are going to be watching later, thank you. You're appreciated. We are excited today. I know you all have seen the title Woman King. That in itself says something.
Yeah, it does.
And I'm excited to just really talk about what we're going to talk about. But, babe, what's on your mind today?
Uh, well, the Canelo fight that in Triple D, Canelo and Triple G fight that we watched Saturday. What did you think about the fight?
I knew who was going to win. He had to,
Who?
pretty much.
Canelo?
Yes.
And why is that?
I think because he had something to prove from what I was getting. I think some people from what I've been hearing has been counting him out.
Who, Canelo?
Canelo out. Some people were torn with him. Some people didn't have some nice things to say about him. I think both of them are phenomenal boxers.
I
They
ain't gonna
both
lie.
have the skills, they both have the science. They went at it. That was an exciting fight.
It really
And it was
was.
on my birthday. And I want to say shout out to everybody who wished me a happy birthday. And thank you for my gift, Candy.
And thank you for all those who donated on the Stafford Boxing Cash App. We greatly appreciate your financial donation
Yes.
to our Stafford Boxing Club, which is to help at-risk youth using the sport of boxing. But going back to that fight, I thought that the fight was a very good fight. I mean, it went all 12 rounds.
It did.
I think that Triple G, his age showed a little bit in that fight.
Yeah.
And Canelo, he was sharp.
He was.
He was the more aggressor.
Yes.
He was focused. He was
Yes.
determined.
Yes.
He reminded me of what Cuss had talked about in his book, in reference to already having the mindset that he had already won because of the preparation that he put into the fight to be able to win.
Facts.
So I think that I think Canelo team prepared him for this opportunity. He done a phenomenal job. I thought both fighters were in top shape. I just think that it was a different fight from the last fight, and each fight is always going to be different from the last fight. But Triple G is a great fighter. I saw a lot of boxing skill set that he had that I didn't see in the previous game. In the previous fight, and he was able to adjust his fighting skills based upon Canelo approach to him and the whole entire fight. I think that, I mean, to be honest with you, Sheila, I think it could have went both ways.
Yeah.
I could have. I mean, because there were some rounds that
was
Canelo,
close.
Yeah, it was close.
That was close.
And
even I didn't even know sometimes. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up.
Yeah, Canelo was in top shape, and Triple G was in top shape. I like the fact how the marketing for boxing has evolved. Meaning, like, you got different sponsors. Like, the last person that I seen who was a boxer who had the Jordan brand was Roy Jones Jr. He had Jordan brand. And to see not Canelo, but Triple G have the Georgia brand sponsor him for this fight, I thought it was good marketing for the Jordan brand to expose the boxing community to his brand and showing that not only do he have great basketball shoes and basketball attire, but he also have good boxing gear.
Smart.
Smart. So he is targeting the boxing industry. Plus football, plus baseball. Whew. And basketball. So Jordan and Nike are doing a phenomenal job in terms of marketing. So
real smart. I like that. Great marketing team.
Oh yeah.
Great vision.
Great vision.
something we're going to be talking about later too.
Mm-hmm.
What else is going on?
I think I want to talk about, the what's his name? The guy up in California who lost his life from an attempted robbery.
I don't know.
The rapper out of California.
Oh, PNB.
Yeah.
PNB.
So here's the thing, and this is one of the things that me and Sheila do. When we go out to eat, we leave the phones in the car. And I think that the phones have become a huge distraction in the communication that two human beings should have. I think is occupied by that phone. And I don't know what went on with that situation. I just know that this young man is no longer here. It was reported allegedly that she,
the baby's mother,
or his girlfriend, one of the two, I don't know, had dropped the location of where they were at. And as a result of it, his enemies came to locate him and tried to rob him of the jewelry. And it's unfortunate that when we go out to eat with our spouses or whatever it may be, that we have to always be mindful of being robbed of our jewelry. And I think my boy, what's his name from H-Town? Sauce Walker.
Okay.
He was in California, and there was an attempt robbery on him. Unfortunately, the robber lost his life, and Sauce Walker, he was able to live and talk about the incident when he, took the man's life because the man tried to rob him. And I just think that when we go out to eat and we sit down across the table from our significant others
or
kids, we need to put those phones away. That is a huge distraction. It's like the phones have become more important than having a human being dialogue. Growing up, that's the only thing I known is to talk. And so having a phone is great. It's a strong communication device. It allows you to have access to the world through leadership. Not leadership, but information. And so when you have that phone and it's not being used accordingly, it causes a distraction. Just like Pop Smoke. He was on social media, I think it was Instagram, and he ended up disclosing the location of where he was at, and all of a sudden someone came and killed him. So I just, it's a sad thing that our community continues to kill each other for materialistic things. And when we are using our cell phones and social media, we have to be cautious of the location device that you can use to locate where you are, etc. Because it is reported time and time again that when we do this, then tragic things happen. And so I just think, once again, another senseless life has been taken for the sake of some jewelry. And I don't understand how someone would want to take someone's jewelry, and that's a dead man. That's a dead man jewelry. So I don't understand, Sheila. Why would someone take someone's jewelry?
Well, take somebody's life and then take their jewelry. But as far as with the cell phones, especially when you're with your children, that's a perfect opportunity to help them with communication skills, as well as seeing what's going on in their lives, what they're feeling, what they're going through, any secrets that they might not be telling you, or something they may be ashamed of, something that's going on in school, whether it's with the teachers or if they're getting bullied. And I say this because there are so many of our youth, they have so much pressure on them and the influence within the entertainment world. And we've said this before, they're more interested in their sexuality, how they look, what it is they have, the materialistic, the microwave. I need this, I want this because everybody else has it, or a certain entertainer has something. And I would like to say something to Blueface and Christian. Stop it. There are so many, you have such a following.
A huge following.
This goes for everybody. You all have been blessed with a following, and how you are acting and how you are carrying yourself, how you respond to certain situations is not good at all. You are showing that you can have a certain title, you can make a certain amount of money, and you can act a certain way. Sometimes you'll get away with it, sometimes you don't. But over time, if you keep on doing something, it's going to come to an end. With you being able to have a following, you're going to have to change the way that you are, because fighting constantly with each other in a relationship, you're not showing how to have a healthy relationship with anybody, whether it's your boyfriend, girlfriend, your husband and wife. And now we have been seeing on videos husbands or men and women physically fighting each other. And the youth already has so much on their shoulder as it is. So this is just going to have to change. Selling your soul to get money or that type of money in a quick way is not showing what our ancestors went through. They didn't get results right away. That's why we're able to do what it is that we can do now. That's why vision has really been on my spirit. Vision is something that is, I would say, it's almost implanted within you, because you have to carry it out. You will have to meet certain people. You will have to be on your journey. I've said this so many times. Everybody's vision and journey is not going to be the same. You may be in a situation and someone might be looking at your situation and looking down on you because you're not where they are, or you're not doing it the way that they would want to do it. Well, that's not how it goes. It's the way that God is leading you to do it His way. Because my husband's vision is not necessarily my vision, but I support his vision. But with us being one, it is. But what I'm saying is sometimes I might not see what he sees. And then if he explains it to me, then I'll be like, oh, okay, I get you now. I understand it. So let's just respect that. And let's also, and I'm going to say this probably every time we're on the podcast, be careful how you speak to other people. Show respect. And even if somebody does not show you that type of respect, as long as your life is not in danger, just walk away. Now, sometimes if your life is in danger, I understand you may have to, do something else. I'm not talking about being physically violent. I'm talking about how you can get away from that situation. So, yeah.
Babe, I thought that was very good. I think that you demonstrated passion on what you were saying, because it means a lot to you that when people are given a platform to have influence on not only their community but other communities, and not only their age group but the age group below them, that they be mindful of how they carry themselves. Because the behavior that some of these individuals are demonstrating is not that what I think our ancestors would be proud of.
Facts.
A relationship with a relationship is something that needs to be cherished. And the way how they're acting, fighting every time you turn around, it just, it makes us look bad. It makes us look barbaric.
Yes.
That we don't know how to communicate and treat one another.
Right.
And so I hope that when people watch us on this podcast show, that they see that there are two individuals who are different in so many ways, but coming together to be a positive example. I'm not saying that me and Sheila don't have, disagreements, but it don't be to the point where FUB and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? I have too much respect for myself. I have too much honor and reverence for God and what his word says. And I love my wife. And so I want to treat my wife with the utmost respect so that people in the community can see that, hey, man, I really do appreciate how you treat your wife, because it inspired me to treat my wife with that same reverence. So let's just tell them about what happened prior to coming up here.
Oh, yeah. It's always something, but this is good, though.
Oh, it is good. It's good. So anyway, we stopped at Walmart. I needed to pick up a few things prior to coming to the studio and get on the podcast show. And so anyway, I was in the checkout line, and it was a young lady. She came and she saw one of the employees from Walmart, and she said something very aggressive. She said, I didn't get my money back, and you do blah, 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 blah. And so the cashier said something back to her, and it just went back and forth and forth. And she said, and called the woman a slur. And it was, I was like, wow. So I didn't say anything to her or whatever. I just, kind of just observed it, paid for my items, and I walked out. So come to find out that the lady who was doing all this, just acting out of character, her husband worked there at Walmart, right? And the way that she acted in front of his coworkers
and employees
at his place of work, I thought it was just totally out of line. So I walk outside, walk to the truck. So I'm getting ready to get into the truck, and the Holy Spirit say, man, you need to talk to her about that. And I said, excuse me, ma'am. I said, ma'am, can I say something to you real quick? So she came over there in front of her vehicle. She stood there. I said, listen, now I'm just going to tell you how I seen this. All right. I'm not taking no sides, but I'm just saying this is what I saw. I saw a wife go into her husband's place of work and totally disrespected her husband. She kept talking about, well, she did. I said, listen, we're not going to talk about what she did. We're going to talk about what you did. Let's stick with that. I said to her, I said, if you really love your husband like you say you do, it is no way in the world that you come to his place of work and you start cursing, you start saying slurs. Now, what if that woman was to file a police report and then you get charged with a hate crime? I said, listen, I don't know what's going on between y'all two. So then she said, well, we separated. I said, well, to me, even though y'all separated, I can discern that y'all still messing around. So apparently it's still some feelings there and something is going on. I don't know what's going on. I'm not trying to get into it, but I just know what you did was inappropriate. It was childish. It was immature. And, I get to talk to her, whatever, and she just start breaking down, crying. I can see God breaking her down, right? I wasn't trying to come at her in any disrespectful way. So her husband came out there and he stood right there as I was talking to his wife. And by the time I finished talking to her, I can't remember what I was saying, but Holy Spirit was just flowing. So I was just flowing, whatever. And so my wife came over there and she, gave her a hug. And, because she started crying and whatever. And it just seemed like there's a lot of hurt and pain that has, developed in this relationship. And, the husband began to tell me, well, man, she out in them streets, etc. Whoop de whoop. I said, well, look, man, everything rests on you, bro. You the head. Okay. And I can tell, bro, you a good man. And he was like, well, man, she came to my job. I make 85,000 a year. Now they talking about writing this up and it go to corporate and all this other type stuff. And I said, man, you right. But the first thing that you need to do, bro, you need to reconcile this situation with your wife, because y'all not supposed to be separated. Period, bro. That's what I told and you got kids involved into this. And so how y'all act, these kids going to act. So I asked the lady how old she was. She told me 47. I said, boy, ain't no way. I said, listen here. You 47 years old and you acting like this, that's like a 15-year-old, 13, 17 teenager, how they act. I said, how is our young kids going to be able to change the way they act if they see our elders acting the way that you act? And she was like, you're right. And it was an opportunity to just be a blessing. You know what I mean? Because like, I really thank God for the journey that I've been through in life to be able to be mature and discern what's going on. And even though I may be dealing with something, I'm still willing to serve in a situation that can help resolve an issue and bring about healing in a family, because it's nothing like having a mother and a father in the same household as one, a union. That way, the kids will grow up to be stronger. They will be balanced, meaning that they have a mother point of view and a father. The girls will know what type of man to look because they have their father. The boys will know what to look into look for in a woman because they will have their mother. And so that makes them complete. But at the end of that, we was able to be a blessing. And I kind of felt good about that, Sheila. I was extremely proud of Sheila, the way how she participated in this situation, because the lady said that I sound like her husband.
And I told her that was actually a good thing when I told her that, because she has never been held accountable.
Without screaming and all that.
And that's what I want to say to the women real quick, since this is Women King. Take responsibilities for your actions. If there's things that you have been through in your life, things you've experienced, things you have done, please do a thorough cleansing and a searching within yourself. I'll give you an example like I gave the young lady. There were certain things that I was doing, like my tone, the way that I talked to my husband. I didn't know that I was talking to him in a certain way. I thought I was talking to him like how I'm talking now. So when he told me, what I would do is I'll start listening to myself. And then I'll be like, oh, okay, I see what he's talking about. If there's something else, if a situation came about, I'll listen and I'll study myself to see what he was talking about. Then I'll be like, oh, okay, I see what he's talking about. And then I would work on it. We can't have an attitude like we know everything because we're making all this money, because we may look a certain way on the outside. We don't have to change. We do have to change. There's nobody that's perfect. If you're in a marriage, or if you have a friendship, or if you're in some type of committed relationship, and the person or your friends, and that's another thing, you want to be surrounded by people that are not going to be your yes people, but you want to be surrounded by people that's going to hold you accountable. And that's not going to allow you to do certain things, wear certain things. It has to come to a point where you're going to want to change. And we've said this before, it's not about us. It's about our children here now, the youth here now, because they're looking. Why is it every time if I see a video, someone's fighting and the kids are there? they're automatically going to think, I don't have to talk, I'll just fight. That's how I communicate. That's not what it is. Because now you're setting them up to either hurt somebody real bad, to kill somebody, or they get killed, or in the hospital, juvenile, jail, and prison. Another thing, women and men, stop allowing your babies, your children, minors, the youth to do videos looking grown to music that they have no business listening to. No business at all. I see so many kids in diapers dancing to a song and it's sexual. I don't understand what you all are thinking. You think it's cute and it's not cute, because there are people out there that looking at your child in a way they should not be looking at your child. And then you're allowing them to grow up too quickly when they should be children, enjoying their childhood, playing with dolls, playing with the army guys, for the young boys, the young gentlemen. I want to say, I don't like to say boys.
If I may say something, Sheila, when you were saying that it's not about us.
It's not.
So today, when we were at Walmart, and when you and I saw an opportunity to minister to this couple, to this married couple, right?
Yeah.
Let's say the fact that we had on our Stafford,
yes,
the fact that we had Georgia State on,
yes,
we are representing this right here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
The brand.
And so when you out in the community and you wearing something on, it may be your own brand, or it may be an organization, or it may be a company that you work for. Understand that you representing this brand, this organization, this company. And it's very important to govern yourself accordingly, because you never know how you may run across this same person. So at the end of that situation, we end up praying. I was like, come on, man, look, we got to get out of here because we got to go jump on this podcast show. And I said, come on, let's pray. And you know, when I pray with these people, man, I what's up, Scrapbook? When I had prayed,
and Eddie Barrington.
What's up, Eddie? I'm my boy Eddie. I got some. Anyway, so when we prayed with this couple, it was such an honor for me and Sheila together. And that's the thing that I love about being married with Sheila. Like, everything that I'm doing, we doing it together. So it's having a tremendous impact in the people who we are servicing. So the fact that we had the Stafford boxing on, right? So who's to say that when we see them down the road, the fact that they had an opportunity to see us and approach them, and we was able to present ourselves in a way that it was a premium way, pushing P, that these people will release their children in our program. See, we just got to be careful how we entertain people, right? Because you just never know that later on down the road, you're going to cross each other's paths. And so that's why the Stafford Boxing Club, the Stafford Boxing brand is important to us. Because when we come into the community, no matter where we are, we want people to say, man, Stafford and Sheila, boy, man, I like them folks, man. That's a real premium brand right there. Those some solid people. So the people behind the brand, that's what it's all about. And Sheila, I want to say this, something that you did with Miss, I ain't gonna say, I almost said the name, but you were able to get behind that wall that she had.
Oh yeah, I recognize.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she had a big, strong, you know what I'm saying? She was full of hurt, you know, because she shared some things with my wife about some things that he said to her that broke her spirit. So men and women, we must be careful of the words that comes out of our mouth, because we may be able to hurt one another physically with, these 52s or an object, but we do more damage with what the words that we say, because it has an effect on that person's spirit
and actions too.
But the words birth
Yeah.
that spirit, bro. And when I was pulling out the parking lot, the last thing I said to that man was, "Hey man, tell your wife that you love her, bro."
Sometimes people really just need love, and they need to be
real.
loved on. And then once that happens, then in a timely manner, things start being chipped away from that person to be able to open up more and to receive words of wisdom and accountability and all that.
But you know what, Sheila, I really don't think that
we need more love, to be honest with you. There is so much hate, and we see it all the time. That's why with the certain things that we talk about, it's either because we've experienced it and we're seeing it. It's so much hate and so much of a nasty, negative attitude. It's like now, it's like you have to really be aware of your surroundings.
Your head got to be on the swivel, bro.
Yeah, so we just have to. What are you singing? I don't know that one.
Man, it's Antonio Brown got this song called "Put That Stuff On," and I just thought about it. It's a real catchy song.
I haven't even heard it.
Well, you know what? I heard it. I saw a clip with him. He was with 50 Cent. 50 Cent had this event. I forgot the name of the event, but it was an event in Houston recently, and they was backstage, and Antonio Brown got this song, "Put That S On."
Gotcha. So Scrapbook Boxing said, absolutely, I believe you envision what you see based on the way you feel. Facts. And Eddie said, wise words, such respect. Scrapbook Boxing, peace to my sister Sheila and brother Stafford. Great to see you all. Great to see you too. So I'm getting excited. I'm going to go backwards. Now, I have some women that I want to talk about in the boxing industry and also out of the boxing industry, but I want to talk about the movie that we saw, because talking about that and what we got out of the movie will flow into the women that I just want to say their names and acknowledge. So I don't want to hold it in anymore.
No, please don't. So the title, the movie is called The Woman King.
And we saw that on my birthday.
And we saw that this past Saturday. And the title of this podcast show is called Woman King. And the reason why we chose Woman King is because of what Sheila was saying about great women doing pioneer work inside and outside of the boxing ring, inside of the community, making a sacrifice. Like, I don't believe I could be here or Sheila can be here had it not been for the sacrifice and the vision of those women who have come before us to pave the way, to stand on their shoulders. So what we would like to do is acknowledge them and show them how much we appreciate their sacrifice. And
thank you, Scrapbook Boxing.
And to talk about the movie and how it inspired us to see a movie that afterwards Sheila and I began to talk about it, and we saw some greatness and we saw some things that we're doing. And last but not least, and I'm gonna turn it over to you, at the end of the show, you had the king and you had the queen. And I thought that was so fitting to have that image of those two individuals who fulfill the vision that was prophesied about how women can lead and become great with the connection of a man.
Facts. And I'm not really gonna tell too much, but if you have not seen The Woman King, then You don't have to listen to it, but I'm not going to say too much about it. It's more so about the vision, and we'll talk about what we got out of it. And I'm so glad that we watched the movie because it did minister to me and it got me excited on our journey together. So Viola Davis, she played, man. And all the women that was in the movie, I have to say, thank you. You all phenomenal. Are beautiful. Everybody was natural. Everybody had some amazing gifts and talents, and everybody worked well together, the men and the women. But one of the things that I liked about it was that the women that were, I'm just going to say group because I don't want to give it away, that was in their group. These were, I would say, almost like the elders. They wasn't old, but I just say the elders because they had a lot of wisdom. They had a lot of experience. So one of the ladies said something twice that wasn't very nice, and she judged. So the other lady, she was my favorite, one of my favorites too, was holding the other lady accountable for what she said. And just how I'm talking to you, she was talking to her.
In that manner, in that tone.
In the tone. Mm-hmm. So the lady who wasn't very nice, she was like, you know what, you're right. That ministered to me because sometimes women, either we keep our mouth closed and we don't say anything, or we agree with that negativity. So we jump on the bandwagon. But holding someone accountable and then being open to your mistake, that was something in itself. That's a way of having communication with each other without fighting, saying curse words, or being disrespectful. That was one of the things. I'm not going to say everything because I know you have something to say. The other thing that I really liked was when the men and the women, they were sitting across from each other, and of course, the king and his wife. The woman king had a vision. She wasn't just thinking about the right now. She was thinking about the futures and all the generations that's going to be coming. But at first, the man didn't agree with her because of sometimes we have pride. Sometimes a man and even a woman will have some type of pride, and because she is a woman. But at the end, towards the end, they all saw where she was coming from.
The vision.
And they all came together. And that's what it's about. I understand that at times we're not going to see the vision. We may not agree with the vision. But if you can take your eyes off of you and what the greater purpose of that vision is, relax. It's not going to hurt anybody because nobody's going to get hurt. So I don't want to take up all the time, but I'm sure you had something that you got out of. Oh, one other thing. Boy, when I tell you those women were something dangerous, but in a good way, the way they had to go train over and above what the men, because I'm not saying women are not strong. Of course, we are strong. But physically, some of us have to work up to that strength. But then you do have women that are just naturally strong. I've seen it for myself. So just all the women working together. Man, working together.
I mean, the movie was phenomenal. I mean, I was sitting up looking like this here.
At first, he wasn't too sure. He couldn't even relax.
I couldn't because I had saw something and I was like, baby, we watching this. You know how I feel about this. So, but once I got past that And like she was saying, like, just look at the vision, look at the picture, just be open. And I was like, okay, bet. And so when I sat there and I just seen how it started, and then I just seen the message that the movie was illustrating. And I just saw these powerful Black women doing some amazing things. And I just saw the courage that they had to follow that vision and implement it and bring it into fruition. And I just saw how they demonstrated discipline and sacrifice for a bigger cause. I saw some of the women sacrifice their lives for the sisterhood. It was just a phenomenal movie. I think everyone should go out and watch it.
You should.
It's a must see. From a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 10. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, it was a great movie. Viola Davis should get an Oscar. She should get some type of award for that movie. And that young lady.
Oh, yeah. Don't say who she is, but the young lady. But man, all the women, really, I really have to. I really admire them. Everybody looks so good.
Everyone was engaged. It was a great movie.
Well, and then it did show some of their traditions in Africa, which is totally fine. So yes, everybody, please go see that movie. Let me see. Great women are fierce and stand on their square. That's what makes them great.
For real.
Scrapbook boxing.
That's big facts.
Thank you.
Big facts.
Thank you.
They stood on business. For real.
On top. And that's why I want to shout out to Lady Tiger, Marion Tremere, Clarissa Shields, oh my gosh, Amanda, Christy Martin, Ann Wolf, and so many other women in the boxing industry. Jackie Callan, Gloria Borden.
Shout out to Jackie Callan, man. She is, when I tell you,
and also Gwen. Shout out to Gwen, because Gwen, we stayed on the phone for about 2 hours with Eruption Boxing. We stayed on the phone for 2 hours one day, and she really has been a great support. And I have to say, our conversation, I really did learn a lot from her. Like, she is straight up. She's a straight up person.
Now she's from New Jersey, right? Or is she a New Yorker?
I forgot. I don't know. I forgot. I'm sorry.
She looked like she's from New York.
Yeah. Now I think she's from up top, and I'm not going to say where she's at now because I don't want to give out her business. But I have to say, I do have a lot of respect for her because she did give me a lot of gold nuggets.
I got a lot of respect for Jackie Callan, for real.
I did too.
I ain't gonna lie.
Because it was that time when I had called her because something had happened.
And
they were doing a documentary.
She was on the set.
And she answered the phone, and she stopped, and she spoke with me. So I want to say thank you so much. See, that's what I'm talking about. The women empowerment is like one of the best things. And even
also, I want to, when you talk about empowerment, man, I gotta give a shout out to the late Coretta Scott King.
Oh, yeah, she was everything. She was a mother. She was classy,
man.
She was a mother.
She was a classy woman.
An activist.
Classy woman. She
spoke for the oppressed, for those who couldn't talk.
She was A1.
She stood by her husband. She stood
through it all.
She stood behind her husband, walked with her husband, stood behind her husband.
And then ended up walking in front of her husband.
And then out of everything that they were going through, for her to still be that classy, elegant, well-spoken woman that we have learned so much from, especially during those times, it's phenomenal. Like, we need to really honor and have respect for those that came before us, because they laid the foundation as well as the blueprint. And they sacrificed, like Lady Tiger. She sacrificed her body.
For real, she did
to go on a hunger strike. And that's why we may not be all the way there yet, but that's why women can get their boxing license. They can fight. They are getting paid, but I understand we can be getting paid more. And that's what I want to say too, that In the 19th century, women couldn't own property. Their husbands owned them, they controlled them, and they didn't have rights to their children, and they couldn't work outside of the home. So there's many women of all colors and all backgrounds that actually was in the front line for sexism, feminism, racism, and oppression. So we want to say thank you to you all. Now, I did say one time that I believe Elizabeth Wilkinson and Hannah Highfield in 1722, that was the first advertisement for women boxing.
Okay.
I also want to say in 1954, they actually had a woman's demonstration for boxing. So it wasn't there yet, but they were only able to have a demonstration. I believe in 1997, the British Amateur Boxing Association sanctioned a fight between two 13-year-old girls. One of them actually had to drop out because she was getting so much unnecessary backlash that she dropped out. So they actually had two 16-year-old girls take their place. So I think in November of 98, the UK had their first sanction for women boxing. In 1999, I believe they also had a man versus woman fight, which is like so crazy to me, because even though women really couldn't fight like the men and it being shown more, the women didn't complain. They took what they could get. And I have to applaud them for that, because with them doing that, that's why we're here where we're at now. And I believe that was between Lou, I can't pronounce the last name, but I believe it was Margaret and Lou Chow, if anybody knows, but I do believe that was it. 2012 was when the Olympics, it's now official, women can now box in the Olympics. I believe it was the summer.
But I don't know if they're going to have boxing in this
in 2024. Yeah, because
was it 2024 or 2028?
I don't know, but yeah, because they said it was, I think they said it was, what was it, weightlifting or heavy lifting and boxing. But they said that if they made certain changes, that there still could be a chance that they could
box,
that they still will be able to box in the Olympics.
So, Sheila, is it fair to say that because of the sacrifices of these women who have, went on hunger strikes, who got low paid, who got screwed out of these contracts that they went into, and people like Lady Tiger, who we are looking forward to having on the show. We have to do follow up and see when we're going to confirm that. But today, the Stafford Boxing Report has the privilege to stand on the shoulders of those women who made tremendous sacrifice. And Sheila has become the voice for women in boxing from a boxing perspective and also from a business side of the boxing industry. And so none of this would be possible if it wasn't for those women breaking down the walls and barriers and making sacrifice, and the vision that they had that one day women will have an opportunity to have their own podcast show and be able to be a voice for women who are boxers and who has aspirations to be involved in the business sector of boxing. The boxing industry is tough. It's tough. It's controlled by a certain group of men and companies, but one thing about life, it brings about change. So
change is good.
so change is on the way. So once who were at the top, once they have their season of being on top, then it's another group of people, individuals who will have their time. And so I'm looking forward to the Stafford boxing having its opportunity to make its mark in the boxing industry, and having this platform with talkinfight.com to host this weekly podcast show is steps in that directions to bring about the vision that we see us being involved in the boxing industry and just in the community with the Stafford Boxing Club. And so I just want to say thank you to all those who donated to the Cash App to Stafford Boxing. We greatly appreciate your financial donations. We greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, so we have Kathy Duval, who is the CEO of Main Events. So I had to put somebody else on the business side. But we also have, I hope I pronounced her name right, Cecilia Brakels. She's from Norwegian. Did I pronounce that right? Norwegian. She's actually the first female Norwegian that have held all the titles within her division. See, once again, we're talking about first. Then Maria Rosa, she's actually the first Spanish young lady that has held a boxing world champion, and that's in history too.
Mm.
But I wanted to also bring this out too. You might want to look over, because we're always talking about equal pay, the Equal Pay Act of 1963. So just to put it simple, it's pretty much an employer that has employees within their establishment cannot pay one sex more than the other. And when you do that, if you do pay a female lower than what she's not supposed to get, you are adding on to a higher poverty rate than it is with men. And it's a lower income for families. And that's including with the children as well, too. So you all don't
pay
want
fair
to do that. You should pay fair,
pay
especially
fair.
if
break bread.
Especially if the man and the woman is doing the same thing. I mean, that's just I don't get it. If I'm doing something and then there's this man, he's doing something, I want the same amount that he's making. I mean, it's pretty much a no-brainer. And CNN had something too for women about women with the cameras or camera women.
Oh yeah, it was about this journalist. She got killed in I forgot what country she was, but yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that. So women who were on the front line for that to get the stories out that we can hear, where we're staying comfortably in our homes or our cars or wherever we may be. Once again, they're putting their lives on the line, and they have families too, and probably had children. But because it's their passion and it's a gift and a vision, once again, and sacrifice, come on now.
Sheila, I wanted to kind of piggyback on something you was talking about earlier, and it goes back to the vision. How vision is important. Having a vision can bring you out of some of your most darkest moments in your life.
Facts.
And I must say that the Stafford boxing is a vision, and we never imagined us being on a podcast show just of our own in front of a camera, talking about boxing and just talking about life and talking about issues that we face in the community and what's going on in the community and what we see from our eyesight on what we would like to address, and hoping that people will be able to receive what we're saying in love. That's the most important thing. But I think that, you know, having a vision is important, and I don't see
that's where it
our
starts.
youth and some of the teenagers and young adults having vision. I do see them being more business savvy and having more skill sets to be able to operate in a digital era, but it's more so for fame, clout, money,
And likes.
and likes. You know what I mean? Like I heard Coach Deion Sanders said that we're not raising dogs no more. We're raising cats.
Ooh.
And
Meow.
you know, I thought about that. That was a very strong statement, and I agree with him 100%. And I want to say something quickly about Coach Deion Sanders. That is what I call vision, right? He's not only impacting Jackson State, but he's impacting the whole HBC football community.
Facts.
His vision is to send as many players from his football program to the NFL. His vision is to raise up these young men to be successful after they graduate from Jackson State. His vision is to make sure that all the young men that comes to his football program walk away with tools to help them to be successful. His vision is that these young men can be a game changer in their bloodline for generation. His vision is to impact the world. See, he do not believe that having his ministry is at Jackson State, not in a church. Deion Sanders is a reflection of what I call a visionary, a man that's a fisher of men. So he threw out a net in the football area. And so he is gathering up a whole bunch of young men and transforming their lives. So when I think about vision and visionary, I think about Deion Sanders, Coach Deion Sanders. Let me get that straight. And the other thing that I like about Coach Deion Sanders is that all his kids are involved with what he's doing at Jackson State. So he has Deion Sanders Jr., who's doing the social media for Jackson State football. He has his other daughter, his oldest daughter. I can't remember what her job function is, but she's employed through Coach Prime Deion Sanders. He has Shador, who is the quarterback. He has Shiloh, who is a defensive. No, I think he played a safety position. And it's just awesome to see a black man having his kids under one roof doing some amazing things, and he's holding each of them accountable. And so that's the vision that I see. That's when I think of vision, I think about Coach Deion Sanders. He is the illustration of a person having vision, a vision that not only impacts himself, but in a vision that will impact long after he's gone.
Facts. Oh, I forgot a young lady, Barbara Buttrig. In 1954, she used to travel around Europe, and at the carnival, she used to box in booths. So, Barbara versus Joanne was actually the first female televised fight. Once again, first.
Yeah, just like we the first. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, put that.
And also, Madam C.J. Walker.
Oh yeah,
she was the
pioneer,
first Black American
multi-millionaire. Not baby, you gotta say
multi-millionaire.
Yeah, put multi behind it.
And she hired 40,000 ambassadors, and she went door to door to sell her hair products.
Vision, like we got a vision with the Stafford boxing.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, I got a conference call tonight. We're gonna holler at that boy. Hey, my boy.
Scrapbook boxing.
Yes, sir. Hey, babe, what's up? What I thought y'all was supposed to be sharing contact information.
I'm putting Scrapbook out there. I didn't receive anything yet.
Scrapbook, what's going on, my boy? Hey.
Yes.
Hey, look, hey, baby, don't put him under the bus, but she's kindly asking you to drop the information so we can set this thing up.
Yeah, he's been our number one for real. And plus, we need to send him. We probably need to send him a band too.
A care package.
A care package.
Yeah,
too.
A care package. Your contact information.
Yeah, just your phone number. It's fine.
The email. Send us an email.
Yeah. At Stafford. You want to type it in? Boxing.
Let me see.
Enterprises@gmail.com. My husband is going to put it in the comments. And once I'm going to say this again, if there's anything that you all want to talk about, or if you have any questions or concerns or whatever it is, just get in contact with us on our email. We like to have audience interaction, and we want to know what's going on because we don't know everything, but we try to find out as much as possible.
I'm looking forward to an event that we're working hard to bring to pass.
With the kids, with the youth.
Yeah, with the youth. It's coming up real soon. It's been a journey. Yeah, it's been a journey, man. And so like when we have this event and we stand before these children, we want to explain to them what we had to go through for this to happen. And I don't want you to take what we're bringing to the table and what we're offering you as something to take lightly.
Yeah, for granted.
Because it's been tough dealing with people that look like us. And I'm just tired of.
We need to stop because you know what this, you know what it is, and I'm just going to say this:
man,
if we can do the opposite, if we can be mean and be disrespectful towards each other, we can be nice and loving towards each other.
Mean what you say and say what you mean.
And we know that people are not always going to like people. Sometimes someone will not like you, and you haven't even done anything. You're just being you. This is when I talk about
your word is your bond.
I know that I'm just talking about in general. I know that, and yes, we have to do a phone call today too, because that's my fault. We were supposed to do it last week. He got in contact with us on the Stafford Boxing Club, so we need to call him today.
Yeah,
we have his number.
Okay, we're gonna do that. So but I'm talking about.
I understand people, that.
You know, like, you know what, man? I'm just go ahead and say it. You know what? I can accept being lynched by a white person, but it breaks my spirit when I'm lynched by a black person, bro. And I'm just tired of doing business. I mean, I'm just sick of the hate, man, that goes on between us, man. Like it's a
lot going on.
Yeah, man. We've been experiencing it. It's like, man, you don't want to see me shine. I'm gonna do it regardless.
It's not even about us shining, to be honest with you.
Well, they just a slang word of progress.
This is all it's about.
Man, we're just walking in the vision of God, bro.
This is about the youth, and not even one community. It's all communities, because we are going to be traveling. We are going to be talking to other people. So at the end of the day, before we had any of this, and the movie that we saw, it's not hard to work together.
It's not.
You're going to have to change your mindset and your way of thinking. You think you're strong, but you're not strong, because it's a weak mentality. It's a weak spirituality, because you want to be something that you're not supposed to be. You're trying to be like the masses. You're trying to be like everybody else, and it's just not going to work.
For all you people, man, and you know who you are, I ain't going to put you out there, but don't try me, because you know I don't fear. But just out of respect for myself and the brand and my wife, I'm not going to do that. But, man, I'm tired of y'all saying what you're going to do, but you don't do it. You feel what I'm saying? And you make up all the excuses. Oh, da 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 da. Man, listen, I prefer you not to even tell me what you're going to do and then don't do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no sucker, bro. You can't just try me like that. You get what I'm saying? I'm thug by nature, but I'm humble by God's grace, bro. You get what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not what you think I am. I am transformed by the blood, bro. I'm transformed by the renewal of my mind and God's word, bro. That's all you see. The person that's before you today is a different person, bro. And one of the things that I had to check was my flesh, because I stand on a different type of code. I have principles and morals that I will die for. I'm not going to compromise myself for financial gain. It doesn't work for me like that. You get what I'm saying? I know how to survive with nothing. I'm at peace with myself. I know who I am. And I can't help because my confidence in God's word and his spirit makes you feel insecure. That ain't my problem. That's something that you got to address. And when you hate on me, and the thing about it is, like, I don't really rock with a lot of people. I just don't. But the people who I allow in my circle or allow me to open up, and you disrespect me, you disrespect my wife, and you think I won't put these paws on you, but I just choose not to go that way because I know it's a lot of kids that look up to me. There's a lot of people that look up to me. You know what I'm saying?
Look up to, not worship.
Yeah, correct. Thank you, babe. That was good. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna allow no sucker to chump me off these streets or chump me out my marriage with my wife by doing some foolish stuff. But I call you out, bro. See what I'm saying? I call you out.
You
bro.
gotta think about the consequences,
and that's what I think about. It's hell making bond, bro. It's hell. It's hell when you got to go up in front of that judge and, you know, your life, your freedom is in the hands of that judge because of a decision that you made. See, the thing I do is I talk it over with my wife and then I just go get in my word, bro, because that's the only thing that I have found to be solid for me. It's a remedy for me. I can't pick up the phone and call, you know, people. You know what I'm saying? I can't trust, you know, a lot of the black men that I know by having conversations, because me being vulnerable to you, you may take it as a sign of weakness and you may use what I'm coming to you as being open against me. So I just go to God's word, I read, and then I pray, and I just leave that there because most people's hearts are not right. You know, our black churches need to tighten up. You breaking people's spirits.
And you straight cap too, like
Yeah,
that one.
My gosh. Hey man, for those people who stand before the people of God and you've been called to preach the word of God, bro, that's the most honorable job that you can have, bro.
And you are highly responsible.
And how you are, you know, conducting yourself, and you think it's all about you, and you think that you looking good and all that. But man, with this technology, this camera, and it's being spread all over the internet, man, it's not a good look for us black men, bro. When certain black men that's on that pulpit do certain things. And I had saw Bishop T.D. Jakes and Lisa Ray.
Mm-hmm.
She was talking about, well, my ex-husband,
I heard that.
He didn't pay for the Rolls Royce, and he said he had this. And man, I'm gonna tell you, man, double salute to Bishop T.D. Jakes, bro. A lot of people might hate on that dude, man, but he's one of the last solid black men from that cloth that I respect. And I don't respect a lot of people in the church. I don't, because I know what a man of God looked like, bro. But he told Lisa Ray, he said, I can take you to the children's hospital where those kids are fighting for their life, but they got a big smile on their face.
I know.
And you talking about this right here?
is nothing.
It's mere crumbs.
It's nothing.
It's crumbs. It's foolish talk, man. And that's what our women and men mind is messed up, bro. It's oh, if he got a whole bunch of money, bro. Listen, man, I've seen it. If you can show me what person have taken their money that they accumulated with them, show me, man. Let me see that person. I want to know.
You can't, because
I ain't seen a person yet, bro.
It's impossible.
But what I have seen, oh mercy, is a person who impacted lives, bro, through their life, that continue to have a long effect long after they gone. When we was riding up here, we saw the police officer on the motorcycle, and they was
having a funeral.
It was having a funeral. The last ride, bro. Everybody gonna have a last ride, bro.
How do you want to be remembered?
How do you want to remember? Oh, some money? Do you know money is just basically some numbers in a computer? That's basically what money is from a financial institution. I'm gonna type 100 million and hit a button and it goes there.
Let me say this to the women real quick. Stop selling yourself over the money.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
I could have used the other word, but I'm trying to be nice right now. Stop selling yourself for the money. See, the excuse is, right, well, if we're in a relationship, we're going to have sex anyway. Okay, yes, but I would think that you're having sex with them because you really like them or you love them and you want to have a relationship with them.
Wait, hold on.
And want things to grow. Wait a minute,
I'm saying,
but they don't do it like that. I mean, they use that as an excuse. Well, I'm going to have sex with them anyway, but I might as well get paid for it.
Yeah, but I was saying that if you want to keep it 100,
they should really get married. I get it.
There you go.
I was going to say that, but you didn't give me an opportunity. I was going to say, even though you shouldn't do that, but in reality, unfortunately, there are some that are going to do that. But I'm using it as an example because they're saying, well, I'm going to have sex with them anyway. So now it's like, I might as well get something for it. And then they're talking about $40.
Well, that ain't no money.
All I'm trying to say is, this is what I'm saying. Don't be recyclable. And I say that you're being recyclable because, listen to this. I don't have a water bottle. I have a water bottle, right? So I'm going to use it a few times. I'm going to fill it up with water. But when I get tired of it, what am I going to do? I'm going to put it in the recycle bin. Once it goes to the recycle bin, it's going to go where it's going to go. And then either it's going to be renewed into something else or it's going to be the same thing. So it's almost like that's how you're being, because how you're acting, how you're being is going to be how you're going to be treated. So you're not going to be kept. You're going to be on to the next one. So now you got to clean yourself up. It's like you got to be renewed. So now you're going to the next one. And then you're saying, oh, he has to have money and he has to have that. Let me tell you something. My husband and I, we started from ground zero.
Man,
or underneath the ground.
The mud.
So I'm not saying that we didn't have something, but we didn't have something. What you all think someone should have. And see, when you go through things and you experience things and you experience the tough times, then that shows the type of person that you really are. See, when you get married, you take vows and you take a covenant. So poor, rich, I'm not saying it in order, sick or whatever, you have to honor those. You can't be on this man talk because he might have lost his job or money might not be coming in. What are you bringing to the table? Because sometimes it's not going to be 50-50. It might be what? 80, 60, 80, 90,
20, 60,
80.
40.
Okay, well, whatever it is, you can't put all that pressure on the man
for a Birkin bag
because you want eyelashes and to get your hair done and all that other stuff.
A Birkin bag.
Why don't you appreciate how he's treating you? Why don't you appreciate a man that's going to truly love you and honor you and speak life into you? but you want to break this man's spirit. And then the ones who are making the money, I saw a video and this man is like, I'm paying all the bills and you don't have to pay for anything. And I can't even come home to a cooked meal. But then when a man asks you, what do you bring to the table? Oh, I bring peace. Are you kidding me? Bring peace. He can have peace being by himself. What are you talking about, peace? It's more than that.
Well, baby, you know what?
Tighten up, straighten up. I'm coming to you out of love. I'm not going to come to you because look, women don't have cap when they do inappropriate things.
They don't have what?
They don't have a cap on it. You know, like when I say like a cap, like they just come out and they'll just do whatever, say whatever, be whatever in front of people, right? They don't have a cap. Like they're not
a limit.
Yeah, they're not concerned about their presentation.
Just like what we saw today.
So I'm coming to you all out of love and just say, stop it.
Enough is enough.
My God.
You got to tighten up, baby.
Oh my gosh. I don't know where that came from.
You know, we can talk for hours and hours.
I know.
Because we got so much
to say. And
we see life from a different angle.
Yeah.
And I hope that people who's watching this podcast live or who's going to watch it will like, share, and subscribe to the Stafford Boxing podcast through Talkin Fight.
Right.
So if you subscribe to Talkin Fight, you will get notified when the Stafford Boxing and other podcast shows that come on the Talkin Fight YouTube channel. And we greatly appreciate the opportunity to share with you some of the things that's dear to our heart, and we appreciate your time. But we're about to close this session up, and I'm going to drop about the gold nugget. And the gold nugget is sacrifice. You know, sacrifice is so important to accomplish your dreams and goals. Sacrifice is important to stay on top once you get to the top. Sacrifice is what's going to separate you from the next person. Sacrifice is going to separate you from being good to great. Sacrifice is going to allow you to have the opportunity to be great, because in order to be great, you have to make sacrifices. Sacrifice is something that each and every individual must demonstrate in order to accomplish your goals. Like a boxer must sacrifice his time. He must be disciplined. He must sacrifice things that he would normally be able to do, but is not going to do for the sake of becoming a champion. When a person comes from impoverished background, he must sacrifice a lot in order to have an opportunity to take care of himself through the sport of boxing. I just realized in how much time that goes into a person becoming a boxer. It is not easy at all. It's a lot of work each and every day for maybe an hour and a half or hour. It just depends. It's depend on how many rounds. So it's for women, it's 2 minutes a round. For a man, it's 3 minutes a round. And some fights can go from 3 rounds to 5 rounds to 9 rounds to 12 rounds, right? Depending on the level of boxing match, you know, and the crowd, right? And so all that time that goes into preparing for that one moment requires sacrifice, because the sacrifice that you make for your gifts as a boxer will give you the confidence to know that you will be a champion at the end.
Facts. I like that. That was smooth too, but that was straight wisdom too.
Yeah, like it's a sacrifice for us to be here today. One day I'll have an opportunity to talk about Boy, that sacrifice that I
Yeah.
made, the sacrifice that I made for a vision has groomed me to be the person that's before you. And I think that without my vision, I wouldn't be the man that I need for myself, for Sheila, and for the kids that look up to me. And I'm greatly, greatly appreciative for God using me for this moment in time to inspire, to impact, and empower a younger generation under me, and to change the narrative of what a strong Black man looks like.
And shout out, before we go, I would like to shout out and thank you to all the women that are doing amazing things, from motherhood to
Yes.
just working,
Kudos.
whatever it is that you're doing, even if it's just under the table. And what I mean by under the table, it's not being spoken about or it's not being broadcasted, because in due time, everybody's going to have their time to shine. So I want to say shout out to all of my ancestors, shout out to women that I don't even know around the world and globally. Keep your head up, think straight, keep God first, change, heal. And I actually do love you all. And
I love you too.
And I really mean that. We want the best for everyone. We want everyone to shine. We want everybody to have their dreams manifested in the way that they're supposed to. And we're not hating on anybody. There's enough room for all of us to come together and stand together and live out our dreams and work well together, and then help those as well. So thank you to all women whose shoulders that I'm able to stand on, because if it wasn't for you all, I would not be here today, and I would not be able to do the things that I am able to do. So thank you from my whole heart.
Well, it's been a pleasure.
Always.
We thank you.
Always.
Until next time.
Yes.
Stafford Boxing.
The making of champions.